I knew from a child I was uniquely different. As a teenager, amazingly talented. As a college student, I was set apart. And now, as a man, I strive daily to be a person of impact. No matter how hard I tried to fit in, I finally realized that I never will, and that's okay. I'm finally getting to tell my stories of what make me the differently created black boy man. Everyone is put onto this earth for a purpose, and God keeps us around here for certain reasons which we don't even know. I could have been sitting somewhere laying up in a hospital bed somewhere right now and not even having my full function of mind, but God did something for me, and I'm thankful for that today. Last week we learned a little bit about the story. Now you're going to get to hear part 2 after my parents decided to send me to Carbondale Rehabilitation Center in Carbondale, Illinois. That was after Miami Valley kind of gave up hope on everything that was going on in my life. Now you get to hear a little bit more about the facility and everything that happened to me while I was there. Enjoy.
And well, let me describe the facility, because the facility was specifically built for people with head injuries. Okay. And most of the people there had been in car accidents with different types of head injuries. Okay, yours was an acquired brain injury. At the time, it was determined that it was viral encephalopathy. And the reason that they gave was not because they identified the virus, but it was because of the white blood cell counts that was in your fluid. Okay, so, but when we took you there and came back that first time, and we came back, we walked in and they said, well, Mr. Coleman, we have a surprise for you. We walked in, and as soon as we walked in, you saw us, you said, hi, Mom and Dad, and that was, that really just changed everything. I mean, it kind of gave us such, much more hope that we're coming to some kind of resolution that you were getting better.
In the next portion of the video, I decided to sum it up a little bit because, my parents were kind of all over the place with that part of the story. But they talked about how much the church was helpful in financing and doing different things for me during that time. Shout out to Revival Center Ministries. They had a huge part to do with why I sit here today and I'm able to tell you this story today. They were a major contributor to my road to recovery, along with Carbondale, Illinois. That really made the difference. I was able to do so many different things after I went to Carbondale, and I got back the confidence and the mind and the willpower to continue on. During this next section, my mother kind of explains everything that they had to do in order to get me in to the Carbondale facility, which was not an easy task.
The miracle, did he say how they didn't sign off on that? It was $600 to $800 a day at Carbondale, remember? And you kept getting dressed, and then they said I said they said he's not going to leave until they sign off. Did you tell that part? The United Healthcare, and we had to get a certificate that said you were incompetent, meaning you could not do anything. You couldn't even write David Coleman. So we had to hurry up and get that done. Somebody had to sign, get a lawyer, get a courier to get you in there. They want you to go there to Carbondale because they said this 18-year-old black honor roll student, 19 then, that he deserves his chance to get better. And the girl, Iris, fought for you. But then finally on the third day, they signed off on it because they had to say that they would pay for everything before you went there. Can you imagine that? They had to agree.
What a miracle. After jetting me to Carbondale, Illinois, it was time for rehabilitation. The real work happened after that. My father recalls some of the things that happened to me besides like relearning the alphabet and relearning to eat food. So take a look.
I think the first one that began to show a lot of improvement was when they saw that you were well enough to give you some assignments on the computer in their offices. And so they allowed you to come up to the office and get on the computer. That seemed to make you feel a lot better. And they also had some other therapies where he built a wooden birdhouse or something like that. We still have that wooden birdhouse, that you built while you were there.
Carbondale, you did very well because after 4 weeks, you said, hi, Mom, and hi, Dad. And everybody wanted their children to do that. And we felt so bad because the other kids weren't doing that.
But God. I was released from Carbondale, Illinois, and then my mom kind of reminds me of some of the things that I still do remember, but I'll just let her go ahead and tell that part of the story.
You came back in April, and then you started with remedial, and you were so skinny, you were a little twig, everything about you, and we gave you a book bag, and we decided that we're going to let you learn. You would go for speech therapy to learn math, and and then finally you signed up for Sinclair, and you were ready. You said you wanted to go to University of Toledo. That's the only thing that kept you going. And you went there and took remedial math, and then they put you on a program where when you went to college, you could take longer to take your test.
After that part of the story, my parents break down exactly what actually helped me in the stages in getting to University of Toledo, which was the Bureau of Vocational Rehabilitation. They were very instrumental in helping me to get to college, to paying some of my books, and to also giving me more time to take tests and stuff like that, because I wasn't all the way back to normal, but I was getting there. Priscilla Parworth was the person that actually worked with me during that time. I had to check in with her month after month, let her know my progress, how I was doing in school. I had to keep a certain GPA in order to even stay in the program. So it was just amazing that when I got to college, I was able to be on the dean's list in college. I was able to do different things in college that I never thought I would do. I was a resident advisor while I was in college for 3 years. No one really knew all of the story behind this. I did use it to my advantage though, because I was able to tell about my struggle and how I survived and how I was able to even sit before people now and talk with a regular mindset, or even talk to you on this video. I did stay in college for 5 whole years, but I did graduate with my bachelor's degree in communication, went on to work other jobs, and now I have the job of my dreams, and I'm able to also do things on the side, which I've always wanted to do. It's just amazing the things that I'm able to do right now that I thought I would never, ever be able to do again in life. Personally, I am so grateful and thankful that I can even sit here to talk to you today and even kind of hear my story from my parents' point of view. But what did they learn from it?
We learned that God was merciful. We learned that He was faithful, because when we were at our wits' end, we did do one thing. We stayed in heavenly places. I was always in praise and worship, because Mother Spells told me to praise my way out of this. And we played tapes day and night at the hospital. It never went off. Healing tapes, Benny Hinn, and we just had the word plastered over, and God was faithful. God Almighty.
One of the things that I came away with was really a true understanding of God's faithfulness, because the doctors had not given us any hope. They had said that you would not be able to be educated and function past the 8th grade level. And I objected, and I said to the doctor, "No, he's gonna do well. He's gonna be able to go to college and all of that." And the guy turned around to me and asked me, "Well, can you see the future?" And I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "Yes." You know what I would say? I think one of the things that I know, I was able to develop a greater appreciation for what it really meant to perform my fatherly duties, to express the kind of care and concern necessary to begin or to be able to build and foster the kind of relationship necessary between a father and a son. It served really to draw me more deeply into your activities and not be so focused on some of the things that I was interested in. But we're so thankful to God because of all the things that He has done. You know, the Lord just He made everything just come together so beautifully. I mean, if we were to do this again and go through this, I don't know if I would change anything. I think God knew exactly what He was doing. He's been instrumental in bringing our family back together, rebuilding and kind of establishing the degree of trust in the whole family. The dynamics of our family literally changed because of this incident.
Because me and Daddy were going through, and once this happened to you, we became like this. It's been ever since then.
it's so great to have a supportive family with you, a family that's going to pray for you, that's going to be there with you in the hardest times of your life. And it's also wonderful to have friends that are surrounding you, that are still loving you through everything that you've gone through or the things that you are trying to get through in your life. It's wonderful to have those type of people around you. That's why I believe it's always great to keep that core with you. With whatever you're going through, make sure you have that core that is going to be there for you in times of need, in times of when no one else is there. Of course, you have to be close and one with God, but you also need core people to support and to uplift you, even in the toughest times of your life. And that's why I'm thankful for all of those that have stuck in there with me, that have prayed for me, that have been there through all the transitions of my life. It has made me the differently creative black boy man that I am today, and I'm thankful for that. I hope you've enjoyed listening to my story, and remember, you are unique, you are loved, you're created for greatness. I'll see you next time. What happened on... You can still just look at the camera.
Okay.
What happened?
Looking at me because he was in Columbus.
No, you're going to talk to this.
Oh, but can they see me doing this?
Yes.
That's good.
I went ahead and prayed. You weren't really talking at all.
You were saying.
Going through, observing, and all of that, right? And
Don't talk to that.
Baby, do me a favor. Can you start it over?
No, it's going to be edited.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. No question.
You're fine, Mom.
But
in the entire nation, and so what was actually happening, and then you decided to get up out of the bed. So they took you and your mother in air ambulance, and I the therapist come and do a test, and you would have to respond to the time. How long was this stay at Carbondale, Tony?
it's about a month and a half.
Were not very popular, but they were in operation then. Go ahead.
If I fall asleep,
Go ahead.
I know, but I was going to just say, did you make... Okay, I'm sorry. Good.
Just tell how when I left Carbondale, what happened after that, and just tell me, just to wrap this up.
Yeah, go ahead.
What,
I'm sorry I was falling asleep. Something, because you had a bad night after he gave you a birthday party and everything. Then you went to your room, and I didn't want you to sleep on the top, so the guy said it was a bunk bed. But I didn't, because I didn't want you to fall out of the bed. He let you sleep at the bottom.
And so all in all,
And he acted like he had these perfect pictures, and like his kids were so great.
So that's it. So just
What? Oh, baby, that's what you look like mad.
Wait, hold up 1 minute. Before you go anywhere, I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of the Differently Created Black Woman. You can catch brand new episodes of this show every single odd number Monday of the month. I really don't know why I did it that way. I guess I'm just differently created. Let's go with that. Also, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and click that subscribe button down there right below. My Deluxe Day Edition channel is still around, so you can check out old episodes that I used to do like 10 years ago. But this is my brand new channel, so click on that subscribe button so that you can know the new episodes that I post to this channel. Thanks again for watching. Bye.